So with the Battle of Coruscant behind us, Separatist leaders rendezvous on Utapau, which becomes famously one of the places that Separatist leadership made their last stand in the final hours of the war. So I figured today we'd take a look at Separatist leaders gathering on Utapau and sort of what that means. I'm Colin, and this is Sci-Fi Deep Dive. Remember, if you enjoyed this video, to head down below and hit that subscribe button. So with the Battle of Coruscant now over and Count Dooku crucially dead, Grievous has taken the de facto position of leadership, as we discussed a few weeks ago, and now he's assembled the Separatist Council, the sort of military ruling council of the Separatist Alliance, on Utapau for a final discussion. This would be the last formal meeting of the Separatist Council, although they would remain together through the end of the war as they all uniformly went to Mustafar. But let's talk about the Separatist occupation of Utapau and the significance of the Separatist Council being there. So following the Battle of Coruscant, Separatist leaders involved in that engagement fled to Utapau, where they rendezvoused with other members of the Separatist Council that had been recalled to that planet. Now, Utapau had been within Separatist territory, but had been sort of forcefully subjugated by Separatist military forces, especially in these later days of the war as Separatist leadership became more and more desperate. As a result, the Utapauans were calling for help, sending out coded messages to the Republic, pleading for liberation. During this occupation, droid forces remained relatively on the sidelines. However, when it came to local politics, it's likely that they were heavily involved, with droid occupation forces managing many of the municipal activities across Utapau. And it's under these conditions that Separatist leadership gathered, basically because that's where the leaders from the Battle of Coruscant were fleeing to. They recalled other members of the Separatist High Council from their positions across the galaxy, all to converge on Utapau. This may have been ordered by Palpatine, or it may have been ordered by Grievous. It likely was ordered by Palpatine, as he wanted to get all the leaders in one place for the sort of showdown on Mustafar. But, regardless, all of Separatist leadership descended on this planet, which is surprisingly separate from Sereno or Raxus, both of which served as sort of de facto capitals for the CIS. So with all of Separatist leadership on Utapau and the planet tightly under the control of the Separatist military, you would understand why the population of Utapau would be less than thrilled by their current situation. And, as I mentioned, they would start reaching out to the Republic for assistance, which would ultimately come in a Republic invasion of Utapau that would see the final death of the Separatist chain of command with the death of General Grievous. So the Separatist leaders assembled on Utapau ultimately serves the purpose of reinforcing Grievous's position as the leader of the Council now that Dooku has been killed, and also to order the Separatist leaders to Mustafar, a plan likely set up by Palpatine to put them in position to be killed by Darth Vader just a few days later. Now, I think it's worth noting that the Republic didn't know how sweet of a target Utapau would have been for an attack. Had they known that the entire Separatist Council was gathered there along with General Grievous, the attack on Utapau would have likely been much larger and much quicker. It took the Republic a little while to get troops out there. By that time, much of the Separatist Council had dispersed, or at least made their way to Mustafar. As a result, the Republic would ultimately not capture any of the members of the Separatist Council and would only succeed in killing Grievous. Now, had the Empire not risen to power, had Palpatine not been playing both sides of the war, the Republic may have looked at least a few more weeks of conflict as they tried to hunt down the remaining members of the Separatist Council. But that was not the case, as once again the Empire rose to power and Vader was sent to Mustafar. But the ultimate prize was there on Utapau had the Republic simply moved a little quicker and had somewhat better intelligence, because they could have captured the entire Separatist Council and Grievous in one fell swoop. All of this exists in the weird state that the Separatist power structure is in right now. The death of Count Dooku sort of put the Separatist Alliance in a weird spot. They didn't appear to have a really proper chain of succession when Dooku was killed, and as such, Grievous seems to have assumed the position of, de facto leader, which he may have done with the assistance of the Separatist military in what could technically be called a coup. If you'd like to learn about how Grievous has taken power within the CIS and how that might be considered a coup, I'll leave a link up here to my video on that. And I'd like you to let me know down in the comments, do you think Palpatine intentionally withheld the information about whether or not the rest of the Separatist Council was on Utapau? Or do you think that was simply just lost in translation at some point along the way? Do you think maybe the Republic intelligence was intentionally misled to believe that they weren't there, or do you think it was simply not included? And if you have anything else you'd like to see me cover in Star Wars, you can let me know down below in the comments. Last but not least, if you enjoyed this video, head down below, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell icon so you get notified when I upload new videos. So for Sci-Fi Deep Dive, I'm Colin, and I will see you next time.